Good evening, World Wide Web. This is James with another update on Regal Theaters. We started some coverage and some traffic counting today in Central Florida. We're going to use the Regal app on our phones and find out how many seats were sold each day on different movies. So we're going to have a head count, basically, is what we're going for. How many people a day go to Regal Cinemas and pay $15.29 to go see a movie? Well, here's what happened today. I'll just give you the basics. And at 1 p.m., at about 11 a.m. it gets started, and at 1 p.m. it ends, and that's the morning matinee. You get maybe 20, 25 people will go see Spider-Man during the morning matinee. At 2:30, it puckers up nicely. That turns into a 30 or a 40, depending on what location you're at. And by the time you get to early evening or mid-afternoon, later afternoon, early evening, you're at about 70 or 80 per day, per showing, not per day, per showing of Spider-Man. There'll be 80 people in the audience. The nighttime shows are packed, 120 people, 100 people in each of the 6 Orlando theaters that I'm now tracking. They're all in Central Florida. We're going to check out other markets tomorrow, and then we're going to reevaluate Orlando and see if it stayed the same or how long it goes on for. But the short math on it is this. Regal Theaters, just on Spider-Man today, and keep in mind, this is not a Peter Parker Spider-Man. This is a cartoon. It's a cartoon called Spider-Man. I don't even know if they had to pay actors, to be honest with you. Each location in Orlando averaged $16,200 today just on ticket sales for Spider-Man. That's incredible. I've worked in a few retail businesses in my time, and I can tell you that $486,000 a month is a pretty good month. And that's what Regal Cinemas did just on Spider-Man today. Per store, per location. That's the kind of track they're tracking. Now, I'm not counting concessions. I'm sure that is, 30 to 50% of the business or more. I'm going to assume the concessions is going to pay for the people that sell concessions and pay for the cups and stuff and some of the food cost. But we're going to get more into that later. I just wanted to see as a base model. Of course, Spider-Man's not the only thing playing. The Super Mario movie seems to be doing about half that much. So they're going to have another $250,000 a month on Super Mario per location in Central Florida. And even movies like Boogeyman, a scary movie they got out right now, they're still putting 20, 25, 30 butts in the seat per showing. Some of them are 10 and 15, but they got 6 or 7 other movies there also. So if we add all of those up, it might equal another Spider-Man, another Guardians of the Galaxy. They might be doing $2 million a month per location plus concessions, is what I'm telling you. We're going to continue to do the math, but yeah, it's looking like my initial estimates are going to be 1.5 million to 2 million per month per location. These things kick ass. I don't know who said the movie business was dead. There's really not much good to see there. There's Speed X with Vin Diesel. It's Fast and Furious Part 10. Apparently, they're having trouble coming up with new material. Spider-Man, a cartoon, again, material. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. I didn't even know there was Part 1 and 2. But apparently, they're like billion-dollar box office killers. And now this is Part 3. And I don't even know how well that's going to do. They're only running about 4 or 5 showings a day of that, so it doesn't seem like it's a big seller. They have, I'm guessing, capacity to run maybe 50 or 60 films a day. and they're choosing to do about 20 of them at Spider-Man so far. They get to choose how many screens they want to dedicate to each thing to accommodate the traffic. So the more traffic there is for a movie, the more screens they'll open up. The less people come to see it, the more screens will go down. So we can probably just tell which one the standout ones just by looking at how many screens it's playing on every day, right on the app. Might be able to do that without doing a head count, because I think they're doing the head count for us. So I might find a way to shorten the metrics on this. Boy, I've been counting all day. Over 1,000 people, 1,080 per day per location. My mind is blown. They're paying, I don't know, 5 kids to run the place. They're behind the cash register. They probably get to see free movies whenever they want, and they probably are making, $12 an hour. They don't get tips. They don't get commission. They probably don't get bonuses. They probably love their jobs, though. Doesn't look that tough. Just fill up Cokes for people and get popcorn. There's probably cleaning people on staff. I'd guess they probably got 10 people in the building, maybe 5. Less than your average restaurant, that's for sure. But, yeah, just really getting impressed by the whole business. I know that a big chunk of their money's got to go for rent, because these are very large buildings. They need to be air conditioned. But I've been in many furniture stores that were maybe as big as this place, and they keep it cool. They keep it open all day long, and they sell their furniture at 50 points, 50% markup, and they still don't do these kinds of numbers. $400 or $2 million a month? Are you kidding me? If you did $500,000 a month out of a furniture store, you would have one awesome furniture store. If you did $1 million, you'd probably be the greatest one ever. But $2 million a month just for your average, or $1.5 to $2 million a month for your average Regal theater. Yeah, they got something here. I'm going to find out how much tomorrow. I'm going to do another video. We're going to find out how much they're giving Hollywood. Find out what their cut is. Are they giving them 10%, 20%, 50%? If anyone would like to comment and make a guess, that would be awesome. But I'm going to try to figure it out as well, and maybe go listen to a couple of the earnings calls and find out what their rent is. Yeah, I would imagine the rent's, $20,000, $30,000 a month, maybe $50,000 a month on a building like that. Or maybe they bought their buildings, but then they're still looking at that much. These things are expensive, they're big. But if your rent's, $50,000 a month and you're bringing in $2 million, you're doing pretty darn good. I think they could probably afford more than that. Yeah, I see a very strong business model here. Obviously, it has its base costs, and when you send everybody home for COVID, there's problems. And why they weren't much more profitable to begin with, I'd really like to get down to and figure out. But most importantly, I want to capture the traffic counts. I want to know what the revenue is before the rest of the world does, and I want the people on this channel to know what the revenues are going to be, because we're going to be able to track it. Yeah, about 98% of the tickets sold today were at $15.29. The rest of them were for $11, just a few of them, plus concessions. They had to have brought in $30,000 to $50,000 today, just out of the each location in Central Florida, and there's 6 of them. And I checked all 6, and all 6 performed pretty equally. Oviedo was the standout. It's a little bit further outside of Orlando. It's probably the nearest theater to a very large bunch of people, but they don't have the fancy seating, the seats that shake and have the speakers in them. They seem to sell at a better rate. People get there early. People buy their tickets really early. They don't come in at the last minute. That's a very special niche crowd that loves that kind of a thing. They want their seats to shake while they watch a movie. And with a stadium seating with the reclining leather chairs, Regal's really nice. We're going to do some counts and checks on AMC coming up soon. But tomorrow I'm going to figure out how much they're giving Hollywood, how much rent is, and we're going to figure out the other premiere movies. I want to iron out some of the numbers for Super Mario and Guardians of the Galaxy, find out how many alternative their movies are specifically, and I want to know how many a day they're selling on each one, and showings for each one, and screen percentages going to which movies. Um, and I think that way we can tell. Also, yeah, we're going to be able to know so much. It's going to be amazing. We should be able to know their revenue. We should be able to know what their rent is. We should be able to know just about everything, their payroll. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to try to recreate the earnings through verification. We're going to figure it all out. But stay tuned to my channel, subscribe. I'm going to do some more update videos on this one. But yeah, you could have never told me that they did $2 million a month. I would have never believed you. I would have said, are you kidding me? Nobody's in that place. Have you been in there? It's like hell warmed over. When you walk in, there's like no one there sometimes, or like two people there. They're all in the theaters. but if you go see something that's not Spider-Man today, if you saw Boogeyman, there's only 10 other people in there with you, so it looks empty and it's dark. So it's it looks like there's even less than 10. It looks like there's 2. But anyhow, thanks for checking out my video. Regal Theaters starting the coverage today. And that's my first prediction on how much they do. About 1.5 million a month per store. Good Lord. Yeah. Tomorrow. See you then. Bye. Like and subscribe to my channel.